Welcome to Learn Tech Today English. Learn today, understand better, and succeed tomorrow.
Have you ever made a strict promise to yourself? Like, okay, I'm gonna study for 3 hours straight, only for your brain to completely crash and demand a distraction just 10 minutes later? Look, if that's you, don't worry. Your mental hardware isn't broken. Your mental contract was just programmed incorrectly. Welcome to Learn Tech Today English. Today, we are breaking down a powerful mental software update to help you build unbreakable self-discipline. We are diving into the 2 critical rules for successfully negotiating a mental contract with your brain. If staying consistent feels complicated right now, it will become crystal clear by the end of this video. So, why exactly does your brain crash after just 10 minutes? When we try to force ourselves to focus and suddenly find our attention totally shattered, we usually blame our willpower, right? We think, I'm just lazy, or I'm so easily distracted. But the reality? It's completely different. The issue actually isn't that you lack discipline. It's that you're trying to run a highly dynamic system on a faulty operating agreement. You're trying to force compliance instead of negotiating a proper mental contract, and that inevitably leads to a complete system crash. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the roadmap for our mental patch update to build unbreakable self-discipline. We'll quickly cover the mental software crash, the art of negotiation, our 2 rules, strategic math and guaranteed delivery, and finally, your upgraded mental hardware. Let's kick things off with Section 1, the mental software crash. And this brilliantly illustrates what's going on under the hood, a severe system overload. Think of your unruly, chattering mind like a restless, mischievous little kid. Let's call him Joshua. Imagine this kid is just constantly running around, absolutely full of energy, pulling at your sleeve, asking a million questions. Except unlike a real toddler who eventually tuckers out and goes to sleep, this mental Joshua runs 24/7. Literally, no breaks, no timeouts. It is constantly on, imagining pleasures, inventing fears, and scanning for danger. And this isn't exactly a modern discovery. Ancient texts have actually long diagnosed this specific bug in our human hardware. The Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken over 5,000 years ago, explicitly points out that the mind's default nature is wandering, restless, and unsteady. It even goes so far as to say that the mind acts as our greatest enemy if it's not properly regulated. Because the mind is so incredibly dynamic, you just cannot forcefully shut it down. You can't just hit a mute button. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, the art of negotiation. Since we can't just silence the mind, we have to strike a deal. You simply cannot run your brain on high-performance mode all the time. If you try to enforce strict, forceful restriction without offering anything in return, your system is going to crash, leading straight to burnout and a return to your bad habits. Instead, you've got to establish a smart negotiation. Think of it as a focus now, play later agreement. You're basically telling your mind, look, if you give me the focus I need right now, I promise I'll give you the enjoyment you crave a little bit later. But for this contract to actually work, there are 2 absolute rules you have to follow. And that leads us right into Section 3, the first absolute rule, strategic math. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down the exact math of a mental compromise. Let's use a fitness analogy. Say your goal is to lose weight. You might negotiate a cheat day algorithm with your brain. You promise 6 days of strict, healthy eating in exchange for 1 luxury cheat meal on the 7th day. Your mind cooperates because, hey, it knows a reward is coming soon. This works perfectly because the math makes sense. The balance heavily favors your ultimate goal. But look at that bottom scenario. There is absolutely 0 point in exercising and eating well for 6 days just to eat an entire day's worth of cake on the 7th. The math has to serve your core objective. A single slice of cake? That's a fantastic algorithmic reward to keep your mind happy and pacified. But an entire day of junk food? That completely destroys the objective of the contract. When you negotiate, the compromise absolutely must mathematically favor your end goal. You can't just guess the math here, guys. You have to plan it out. Don't let the reward ruin your hard-earned progress. All right, moving on to Section 4, the second critical rule, guaranteed delivery. The process sounds super simple, right? Promise the reward, complete the work, deliver the reward. But here is where so many ambitious people mess up. Imagine promising yourself that if you finish a heavy 2-hour work project, you'll reward yourself by watching your favorite TV show. So you put your head down, you focus, you crush the work. But when those 2 hours are up, you feel this surge of productivity. You think, you know what, I'm on a roll. Let's just skip the TV show and force myself to keep working. Actually, scratch that. While this seems like a super productive choice in the moment, it's basically a disaster for your long-term discipline. So the crucial point is this: you must never break the contract. If you promise your mind a reward for its hard work, you absolutely have to deliver it. It's vital that you don't cheat your mind. If your brain realizes you're not keeping your end of the bargain, that the promised reward is just a lie, it loses trust in your internal system. And guess what happens next time you try to focus? It will refuse to cooperate and throw a massive mental tantrum. You have to build trust with your own mind by honoring your deals.
Section 5. Your upgraded mental hardware. Let's move to this timeline and see how this actually builds. On day 1, you're actively planning. By month 1, you're in what we call conscious competence, meaning you have to actively negotiate and track those rewards. But as you stay consistent, year 1 rolls around and you reach unconscious competence. What your mind doesn't realize during all these little deals is that it's slowly becoming fully habituated to the focused, healthy behaviors you're programming. Eventually, the healthy behavior just becomes your automatic default.
By strictly following these 2 rules, you literally stop fighting your own biology. You're fundamentally upgrading your emotional hardware, training your brain to safely delay gratification without triggering some huge burnout response. Over time, because that healthy behavior is wired in, you build sustainable lifelong habits, and you actually become way less likely to even want to cheat the system. Let's do a really quick patch notes recap to lock this in. Rule 1, the math must make sense. The balance of the reward has to heavily favor your ultimate objective. Rule 2, never break the contract. You must deliver the guaranteed reward or your mind will lose trust and rebel. You really don't have to be a victim of your own restless cravings. Program your mental contract correctly, negotiate smartly, and your mind will finally work for you. So, will your restless thoughts be a constant distraction or your ultimate productivity partner? If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Learn Tech Today English. Turn on the bell icon so you never miss our latest AI, tech, and mindset updates. See you in the next learning video.